The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Welcome to the Pulpery Nerdcast with Brock and Ben. This podcast is where we discuss the nerd culture headlines that intrigue us and those minor details that enrage us.
I liked it. There, I said it.
It wasn't a complete trash movie.
No.
Like some people made it out to be.
No. And, it got all the reviews beforehand, and then people, what we've talked about a zillion times, the whole review bombing thing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I laughed.
Yeah.
There were some scenes where I really, really laughed.
Yeah, I mean, no, it had
Go ahead.
Where
the scene
I don't want to get into that.
The scene where he first don't get into the minutia.
Yeah.
The scene where he first meets himself.
Yeah.
And he's like, do the thing. Oh man, when he's like, it was perfect. So Ezra Miller,
and he realizes how annoying he is.
Yes. Yeah. Then it was all like, I'm the grown up. Is the Flash on the spectrum?
I don't think originally. I think the way that Ezra Miller portrays him, yes.
So he does portray him like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was just making sure. I wanted to be all politically correct.
Now, like the Arrowverse Flash, I don't think is
no, because the wife watched it and she was like, no. I
Yeah.
mean, he's still a science nerd.
Sure, yeah.
But that's his backstory.
He's like the Peter Parker or Peter Parker's the Flash of the MCU.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and the same love interest was in the TV show as well. Again, I'm getting all this information from the wife.
I believe so, yeah.
So, yeah, we got the backstory for him finally. Although, did everybody's parents die in the DC universe? Is that how, everybody became a superhero?
Apparently. Yeah, they at least lost one parent.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's a reoccurring theme.
Well, that's why it's
Batman,
the dark.
Superman, Wonder Woman. Yeah, The Flash.
Aquaman.
Arrow. Aquaman.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we can go on and on. I mean, the Joker didn't have parents. He was just, born. Just there he is.
Yeah.
So, anyway, back to
Hello.
The Flash. Full grown. Already matured, everything. He's just there he is. And he looks like Heath Ledger. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. The whole thing.
Yeah.
It didn't take itself too seriously.
No.
Right? And the comedy was perfectly timed. And then Michael Keaton is in it, so
I think too they did a better job than the MCU has of explaining I forget what the MCU called it, but the point in time that can't be changed.
The constant.
Yeah.
No, sorry, that's Lost.
Yeah. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. Fulcrum.
Yeah, that's how they describe it in The Flash. And then he gets caught in one of those points.
Of course.
At the intersection where nothing can be changed.
No, everything on this path, right here, at this time, can't be done.
Yeah.
Although it was cool to see him trying.
Right,
It was how long have you been at this? What the fuck? And it made sense, because when he first jumped through the whatever they fucking called it, and they showed the thing, which ultimately, spoiler alert, was himself. I thought it was is that not Carnage, but Doomsday, or
what's
the other one's name?
I'm trying to remember. Yeah, of the characters that can exist in different planes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was surprised.
Or Lex Luthor in one of his suits.
Oh, that would have been fantastic. But they can't do that.
No.
The callback, when they went back to that particular time with Zod.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And they did... So in the original Superman, did they have Space Monster? I know they had the female, and I know they had Zod. But did they have the giant meathead?
No, and I was half expecting that was going to be Kal-El. Like, they had found the pod, and instead of growing up with the Kents, he grew up under Zod and became this murderous destruction machine.
Dark Superman.
Yeah, exactly. But they
There
never
was a
like
horror movie made about that, but I never saw it.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking. Yeah, Brightburn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and you would think in any one of the. I mean, there's got to be a version of Superman out there where, yeah, it's like he would. I mean, there's was it Red Dawn Superman or whatever, where he falls in communist Russia and becomes like the defender of the Soviet Union, but.
Well done.
That's what I was hoping. Yeah, that the giant.
I didn't even think about that.
But
damn it,
because that's what I thought. Like she was gonna get Zod, and we'll get to Supergirl in a second.
Okay, good. Because I was about to thank you. You knew where I was going.
But then when they rip everything off, and then it would be like she recognizes. I mean, somehow recognizes an infant as grown. Kal-El.
Or she would just know.
Yeah, exactly. Or or he's got some scar or marking or whatever.
I mean, it makes sense because Wonder Woman doesn't exist in that time. Cyborg,
right?
I mean, it's just Batman and Reverse Flash.
Yeah,
who wasn't really Reverse.
Not even
Flash.
Aquaman.
No, but he shows up.
Yeah, in the final time,
which is fucking hilarious. This is my home. This is my home. But I'm glad that scene... I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
Supergirl.
Yeah.
First, the beginning of it, I was not... I mean, I guess I knew Batfleck was in it.
But I thought it was only going to be like a hot second and that was it.
Right, but it was like the setup.
Yeah.
And then Wonder Woman shows up. She's the only one who gets entrance music. It's like fucking Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I'll get to that in a minute.
I was going to say, well, I mean, other than Michael Keaton Batman, which I love that they kept oscillating back to the Danny Elfman score.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they had the OG Batmobile.
Yeah.
Mobile. What did I just say? Mobile. Alabama. Sorry. I'm writing myself notes to touch on later.
But and we'll get to Michael Keaton, but
I mean, he was the Ezra Miller, and I tried to think about what else he was in. All of his faults, he's a good fucking actor.
Yeah, I mean,
like
I think
his range just in this movie.
Yeah, I guess I didn't think about that when I was watching it, and that I mean, he does have to run the gamut.
Like, I mean, I wasn't consciously thinking about it, but then afterwards I was like, he played 3 different characters because he played super spiky Flash.
I don't know, but his sad, not character, but like when he's sad and retrospectful, it's a little whiny for me. But that's I get it.
Well, no, he gets whiny, but he's a kid still, right?
Effectively, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's graduated college and working in a crime lab. You would think he wouldn't win, but then again, I've never stood in front of my deceased mother and had to say goodbye. So
me either.
Yeah.
Or watch my dad, who happens to be the dude from Office Space. The guy.
Oh yeah.
He's just gonna cut this fish here on the table.
I still couldn't find out why they didn't go with the original actor who was his dad, who was Dr. Manhattan.
Billy
Crudup, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. What was the reason? Either he couldn't come back, or they were like, let's go with Ron Livingston.
Ron Livingston was probably cheaper. I don't know.
Could have been.
I love the Ron Livingston just because he played that. I don't know. I can't look at that man.
I don't know if I'd miss it, Bob.
Yeah. I don't. Samir not going to work here anymore. Oh,
Anyway.
Okay, sorry. Back to the Flash. Yeah, he was a little whiny. His younger self.
When he was sad, but then there were other moments where he was very take charge, like when he straps himself into the lightning chair.
Well, that, and then toward the end, when he finally tells his younger self what a douchebag he is. Because I could probably go back in time and slap my younger self and call him a lot worse things.
But effectively the same thing. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it.
And they never said what really happened to his mom. I guess by the end of the movie we're going with the intruder theory.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm not buying that. But again, it happened to Batman.
They might have had a really nice TV. You don't know.
But they didn't take it. And it would have been gigantic. It would have been a tube TV. Do you know how heavy those things are? They're like 400 pounds. Ours was on the floor with this faux mahogany. Go ahead.
Well, I just trying to rein this back in because we started talking about Supergirl and then we moved on.
Well, that's because I got sidetracked like I do.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, so your impressions of the character that they threw in there and the actress's portrayal, or
I'll start with the actress. She was awesome.
Yeah.
She's pretty, and she's young. Throwing that out there.
Fucking creep.
She was awesome, and I really like the fact of the Kryptonian ball that they had her in. Fuck, that's just slowly killing her, and
keeping her deprived of sunlight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I kept telling the wife, I was like, just get her
in the
outside.
sun, yeah.
Just get her outside. She'll
Yeah.
be fine. She'll be okay. Just
Yeah.
get her in the sun. Yeah, that was a little strange to see Superman. Because at that point we didn't know she was a female. When you first saw Skin and Bones, she looked like she had been in
Oh yeah. Or it was the Kid Weapon X.
Yeah, exactly.
Just some feral. Right. Yeah.
Like the possum out back. I liked it, and I liked her character, and I liked the fact that she was like, why should I like humans? They've had me locked up forever.
Don't judge us off the Russians.
Right, and which is ultimately what it was like. It's like, no, we're good. We're okay. But yeah, I like the no-nonsense. It sucked that she had to die.
Yeah.
But she's there somewhere.
Right, exactly. There's got to be another timeline, and maybe
that she exists in.
Yeah, and maybe that's in James Gunn's portfolio coming up after he reestablishes Superman.
And when they, are all strike.
Yeah.
Although even though he's on strike, he could be writing 6 movies.
Yeah, exactly. He just can't get paid for it
yet.
Yeah.
And then when it comes out, he can be like, all right, like a fan of cards.
Although technically he's an executive now.
So he's responsible for paying everybody?
Or for managing content. But so he can still be working. If he's writing himself, he could pay himself and then.
That'd be shady as fuck.
But yeah, I don't know.
That'd be slimy.
I think he's a supporter. But anyway.
Sorry,
we somehow have 25 seconds. What did you think about Howard Hughes, Bruce Wayne, who can still do kung fu on the kitchen?
I loved it, but he was still hurting though, which is the best part.
That's very Dark Knight. Yeah,
it fit the old man Batman model, and then he made spaghetti.
We have been making some changes here at Pulpery. We've shortened our episodes to 30 minutes so you can catch everything we say on the drive home, on a lunch break, or at any other time. We've added video to our repertoire, and we are expanding our social media presence. So check us out on YouTube and smash that subscribe button and use the likes. You can get our socials from the link in our bio, and be on the lookout for our new politics cast. If you need a change for your taste buds, go to thegdsauce.com and change the way you think about the way you eat. From their signature goddamn sauce to their ghost pepper sauce, they have everything you need to rethink condiments. Help support an independent business by getting rid of your same old condiments and boss up with the goddamn sauces.
So, we forgot to mention that Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly.
Mentioned a lot.
Marty McFly. So we should unpack that entire scene where Barry and his cousin Barry meet his roommates. Charlie.
I forget all their names, but
Well, no, just the same. Okay, so
are you talking about the dude on the couch?
yes,
Yeah.
It was like, oh, don't worry, that's George. and then there was he called the other guy, and he set up, and there was a chick behind him.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Like, then Jesus Christ. George, I'm going to call him George. He will henceforth be known as George.
Was it where that was reminiscent of like a James Gunn kind of scene that he would write into a movie that is very apropos for us slackers when we were in our early 20s and living with like 3 people.
Yeah.
And there's just always some dude on the couch like, what the fuck's he doing here? Oh,
But
you don't want to know, man.
You mean the person that always ended up there and never paid rent? That guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all had that guy. But he was fun to keep around.
That apparently always had stinky feet.
Yep.
And then made your couch smell like ass.
Or grind their teeth.
Yeah.
Yep. I had one of those. Story for a different time. Good. So, I'm going to run through the 3 that we remembered.
Yeah.
Eric Stoltz is Marty McFly.
Right.
That's because Michael J. Fox was in Footloose.
Right. Well, and remember, Eric Stoltz was originally cast as Marty McFly. I mean, hence why they get the idea.
That's where
they just didn't pick Eric Stoltz out of a hat.
No. I knew
that would have been brilliant, though. Or if it was like C. Thomas Howell.
Well, that's
or
right.
Andrew McCarthy.
Any one of those guys. Oh, Jesus.
Rob Lowe.
No. Who played Bender?
Oh, Judd Nelson.
Yes.
How the fuck do I remember that?
God, he was in New Jack City.
That's right, yeah.
So, Kevin Bacon was in Top Gun. He was Iceman.
Yeah.
They had a 15-minute conversation about this.
It seemed like it.
Again, Barry goes back in time to fix his mistakes. So we're at 18-year-old Barry. And George...
But it's a completely different timeline.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because his mom lived.
Right, so Michael Keaton's Batman had to watch Eric Stoltz play Marty McFly.
Correct.
Yeah.
And Kevin Bacon play Iceman.
And Michael J. Fox in Footloose.
So the thing about when they said Kevin Bacon, he was like, the pretty guy with the gay sex scene where they were playing volleyball on the beach. I went, oh my God, you cannot say that. But they did. So good on them. All right. They didn't have to CGI any of that, thank God. That was just mentioned in a...
nice segue, by the way.
Thanks.
Yeah.
In a conversation. But the CGI... Bad.
Well, like when it was important, it was good. But when it was like
Christopher Reeves, good. But again, he has a typical, like, you can type into AI what would...
I would say, his was better than the Nick Cage Superman, which looked like
that was bad.
A Madame Tussauds.
It was really bad.
And like we said, the baby, like they started off with bad CGI.
The dog we got to kick because the tongue, right?
Yeah, but it still looked fucking weird.
It did, but it was funny.
And like that, I think you could go like, okay, nobody knows what a slow falling dog is going to look like, but the babies looked like,
they were creepy
or dolls.
They looked like Sour Patch Kids, but
I mean like something
Cabbage Patch. No, not Cabbage Patch.
Like the
Kids.
bottom shelf in the doll section at Walmart. Like that's what it looked like.
Or,
like the ones that the eyes don't even open.
Or a doll.
Like the ones that the eyes don't even open. Like that's what it looked like. Like the bottom shelf in the doll section at Walmart. Like that's what it looked like. Or yeah.
Or,
Like the ones that the eyes don't even open.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were very creepy. Still a fun scene, but CGI
Right.
was trash. And the running backwards, the reverse flash for the time lines, they could have done that a little better. Instead of like the Coliseum with the steps collapsing as they're moving along.
Well, and I think exactly. And like some of the faces you see in there almost look animated.
Yeah, and I've got them written down here. But yeah.
And the part that I think that makes me mad about that is I think as we've dissected it a bit, like the story was a good story.
It was.
You had a good director in Andy Muschietti, I think is how you say it, who did the It's.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that's his big one, which he did a fantastic job with those movies.
Oh, yeah. Both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a Skarsgård in there, but...
Sure. But if you can make a, space spider alien believable...
He did.
Better than the miniseries did, even though you had Tim Curry in that
I
one.
was just about to say, don't you fucking hate on Tim Curry.
No, I'm not going to. No.
Okay, so
fucking own that shit.
back. We're rolling it back in.
Yeah.
But, so they had...
So everything was there. Like we said, the girl who played Supergirl nailed it. You had Michael Keaton that, I mean,
he was so good.
Goddamn, he's so good.
But he's good in everything.
That's true.
And now he's been in both universes.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can't say now because he was Batman Forever Ago and then he was Falcon.
And apparently, I was today years old when I found out that they had a whole plan for him re-entering, like playing like the dark, the old Batman and doing that. Like
the old Batman's the best storyline.
Which this movie sets up, like, or at least if his version had lived. But that, like you said, you see him getting injured, but then he's like getting revived by the pain.
And he died in that timeline.
Yeah.
Again, Christopher Reeves. Speaking of original Supergirl,
right?
They showed him. Catwoman.
And very first Superman, George Reeves.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both Reeves.
Yeah.
Who died horrible. Okay. Adam West.
Yes.
Well done.
I can't remember. Was Burt Ward in that? Robin was. I think. No.
Just Batman.
Okay.
They didn't even do. They were just sticking with the Justice League, although they didn't get Wonder Woman.
Right.
But we did.
Because that would have been nice throwing a Linda Carter Wonder Woman.
Right. She was probably of those shows because we got
the most successable.
Right. We got other than the Hulk, which clearly wouldn't have worked here.
Yeah.
So yeah. Wait, and Nicky Cage.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Fighting a space spider, by the way.
Right.
Which
Cage.
Which was the pitch to Kevin Smith when they
so
were
it was
trying
Kevin
to
Smith
yeah.
that they were trying to do that.
Trying to direct that one.
I had to explain to the wife why that it wasn't just random. That was a reason behind it.
That's what a studio exec was like. Yeah, so we want Nick Cage as Superman, and he's fighting like some gigantic space spider, and somehow it's, and then it's like Kevin Smith's job to take that and weave a script around it that makes Superman,
sense.
Defender of the American way by defeating a space.
Maybe the space spider's coming for America. Maybe, and hear me out. It's a Russian space spider.
A communist space spider.
It's socialist.
Yeah.
Okay, real quick. We're going to switch to... Okay. So Terry Funk passed away.
Yeah.
He was old, but...
Yeah, he was getting up there in age.
God damn, I grew up watching Terry Funk.
I mean, he wasn't like Bob Barker old, but,
No, he died without going over 99.
Yeah.
He did not go over $1. Stole that from many. So Terry Funk, I grew up. I have VHS tapes. Just Google it if you don't know what it is.
Or you can Google the VHS tape. You can YouTube the VHS tape.
Correct. Of him wrestling in the 80s and in death matches, and there are so many. He's part of the Funk family, so. Dory Funk Jr., Dory Funk. God rest his soul, Terry.
Yeah.
Egg-sucking dog. That's what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember
But he
now.
carried around a fucking branding iron, and him and Ric Flair had the gnarliest I Quit match ever in like 83. Just Google it.
That's
seriously.
when it was. Yeah, that's when it was good.
Oh, man, it was so fucking good. Like 7-year-old me watching Terry Funk and Ric Flair kick the shit out of each other.
With your thumb wrestlers.
I still got those thumb wrestlers.
And those the gigantic.
Oh, I had a ring.
Yeah.
I had a ring, and then I had like the Road Warriors,
Yeah.
Hogan, Big John Studd, Piper. I don't know. I could be here all night. So Terry Funk, man, rest in power, big guy. The one that hurt is Wyndham Rotunda, Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that
He had several names.
the Fiend, yeah, the Wyatt family. Dude was a fucking genius. I again grew up watching his dad and uncle,
Yeah.
Barry Windham. His dad was IRS, Mike Rotunda. He was part of the $1 Million Family with Ted DiBiase.
Okay.
And he was part of the collegiate team under Kevin Sullivan with Rick Steiner. That's his dad. Barry Windham is fucking Barry Windham. He was in the Four Horsemen. So this guy, 36 years old, kid, 2 kids, wife, fuck. It sucks.
Where they briefly mentioned on Deadspin that he had been sick, so I'm assuming it's cancer or something.
So he wrestled at the Royal
Well, you said
Rumble.
it was like
yeah.
a long COVID thing.
He wrestled at the Royal Rumble, and he appeared on a couple of shows, and then he was pulled. Like, he had a storyline for WrestleMania and everything that actually started it, and then he had a health issue. I'm assuming he got COVID.
Yeah.
And then the report goes is, like, the bottom half of his heart was super weak. So, like, he got over COVID, and he was making progress, and then he just had a heart attack and died.
Oh.
Apparently, the doctors gave him a portable defibrillator that was in his car. So he went to take a nap. His wife went in there to check on him because the alarm wouldn't stop going off.
Yeah.
And he was gone.
Fuck.
Yeah, man. Fuck. This one hurts.
I was gonna say, like, from what I saw, like, he tapped into the horror angle and like saw kind of shit.
Yeah.
Like,
well, at first he was fucking what's his name?
they said Deadspin called him like Bayou, like
Kate Gacy, whatever the character, whoever Rob De Niro was, and
Yeah.
Cape Fear, or who played him originally?
Robert Mitchum.
Thank you. His character. It's Gacy or Casey,
Something like that, yeah.
That character.
Yeah.
Hawaiian shirt, white pants,
Come out, wherever you are.
black tank top, which is what I am totally going with the hat. That's what I'm going to be for Halloween. So just wait. Yeah, and then he transformed that into like this butcher where he wore the leather
apron.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're not getting to Ahsoka. God damn it. So
That's all right.
he got to one point where he's wearing like a leather battle jacket. Like he constantly evolved, but it made sense. Like the dots connected to everything. It was like he was evolving.
Well, I'm still looking at like that Pee-wee's Playhouse he did with John Cena. That's like a Zappa free jazz visual.
You watched the whole match? That was a WrestleMania match during COVID.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
Cinematic. But it had a callback to, again, it went back to the very, very beginning of the Wyatt family.
Yeah.
And tied he was a fucking genius. He could tell stories. Apparently he made a horror movie.
The following Pulpery podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery is a privately produced podcast by Brock Ryder and Ben Grimmie on social media and photography by Beck Ryder, original music by the Heisenberg Compensators.